All right, we're going to take a look at what radians are. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a dot in the middle of the page. You're going to take the piece of string that you have and put it on that dot and make a straight line from it, mark it, and you're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're going to already see mine is drawn in. Okay, so I already measured mine and I've drawn mine in, but again, you're using it according to the string that you picked up. Label it A and B. All right, then follow the directions that you were given. So put the compass right in the middle, put it on point A, then draw a whole circle all the way around. So if you did that correctly with a string, you should notice that it goes through both points A and points B. I find it easier to just turn the book around, but if you find it easier to turn the compass around, please go ahead and do whatever is easiest for you. All right, so I've gone ahead and drawn my circle. This is a listening check. Color in the 0 right in the middle of the circle. All right, so I'm on step 5. I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to measure how many degrees a half a circle made from point A to B. So if you look at the protractor, and you can read it from the inside or the outside. So if you're reading from the outside, it goes 0 all the way around to 180. If you're reading from the inside, it goes from right to left. So half a circle is 180 degrees. All right, how many degrees is a quarter of a circle? So half of half is a quarter, and you can see that half is 90 degrees. So starting at point B, so on the other side, you're going to move counterclockwise, that's to the left, to measure 90 degrees. So every 90 degrees, you're going to draw a line, and we're going to measure what those are. All right, so taking a protractor, you can see from a quarter is right at 90, and then half is 180. So 90 degrees, half is 180, and then next one will be 270, and next one will be 360. So going around from left to right, those will be your measurements. All right, we already cut our string in the beginning, so we already have that done. We're going to take one piece of the string and put it on point B. Kind of hold it down with something like the end or the tip of your pencil, eraser, or something like that. And then curve it to the curve of the circle. Then go ahead and mark that curve. Okay, name that point C. Then use a ruler to draw the line to the center of the circle and measure that line. So we're looking at, if you're looking at the inside, it goes from 0 to 50. It's just past 55. So if you go up, you'll see it's 2 past 55. So about 57 degrees. Okay. All right, so compare, because you all have different circles, compare what the people next to you have, and you'll see that they all have the same thing. All right, so then what is the length of the arc? So remember, the central angle divided by 360 times 2 pi r, which is the circumference of a circle. So what does that mean? My central angle is 57 divided by 360 times 2 pi, and then I need to know what r is. So we're going to go ahead and measure what r is. So looking at your circle, take a ruler, or take the protractor, because actually you can use that, and measure that it's the radius of your circle, what it is. For me, looking at it, so you take your protractor, put it at 0, look at the radius. Mine looks like it's about 5.5. So I'm going to put 5.5 there. Put that in the calculator, and I'm going to get that my arc length is 5.47, or 5.5 rounded. Which makes sense because the string is exactly what it was, the radius, right? Because I try to cut it to the radius. This is a listening check. Put a circle around the number 12. All right, so now use your string to continue making equal arc lengths around the circumference. So go ahead and put your pencil down, curve it, mark it. Put your pencil down, curve it, mark it. And the question is, how many arc lengths were you able to measure before reaching point A? So it looks like it's just over 3, so 3 and a bit. And then we're going to keep making around until all the way. So curve it, mark it. Curve it, mark it. And the question is how many string arcs will you be able to make before returning to point B? So it looks like it's 6 and a little bit. All right, so find the circumference of the circle. Leave your answers in terms of pi. So we know circumference is 2 pi r. Our radius, or my radius, is 5.5. Remember, yours is different, right? So you do a calculation with yours. So that's going to be 2 times 5.5, which is 11 pi. I'm going to put that in a calculator too, so I know what it is. So 11 times pi, which is equal to 34.5575. So let's just say 34.56 or 34.6. And remember, your answer is different. Okay, so if it's, I'm just going to look on the left. If it's number 13, it says if the whole circle is 6 and a bit and each piece of string is 5.5, right? For me, my 6 times 5.5 is going to be 33. So it makes sense because if it's 6 and a bit, it's 33 and a bit. And right now I have 11 pi, which is 34.6. So that little bit is unaccounted for, is that little difference between the 33 and the 34.6. Now again, remember your numbers are different, but they are going to match. So your 13 and 14 are going to be very close to each other because it doesn't matter the size of the circle. And that's the whole point of this exercise. Okay, so this is true for any circle. All right, so how does this compare to your answer in 13 in the second bullet? It's really the same. Okay, so that's the point that we're making. Regardless of your whatever circle you have, it's going to be the same. So the biggest thing for you to really understand is that half a circle, these 3 radians and a little bit, is pi, because pi is 3.14. It's 3 and a little bit, right? So this is where radians come from. 3 and a little bit is pi, which is also equal to 180. 6 and a little bit, so remember 6 and a little bit is the whole circle, right? Which is 2 times pi because it's 2 semicircles. And that's going to be equal to 360. So we're going to be really interchanging between pi, 2 pi, and everything in between. So it's very important for you to understand where radians come from. And honestly, all you need to know is radians is just a different way of saying the same thing. Okay? Radians is just a different way of saying degrees. That's all it is, just a different way of measuring the circle. This is a listening check, coloring the word different. All right, so think about it this way. You can either say hello or you can say what's up, right? It means exactly the same thing. So radians and degrees is exactly the same thing, just a different way of measuring the circle. All right, so again, how many string arc length should fit in half a circle? Pi, 3.14, just a little bit over 3 radians. Okay, so just a little bit over 3 radians is called pi. That's how we measure it. All right, how many are going to fit around a quarter circle? Well, what is a quarter circle? A quarter circle is half of half a circle. So if half a circle is pi, then half of that is pi over 2, which is roughly 1.57 if you put it in a calculator. Okay, so this is just a brief introduction of just really understanding where radians is from. We are really going to begin to dive into this. So again, please make sure you're understanding that pi is 3.14. 3 radians and a little bit is pi. Let's practice.